Okay, so I think when I took a picture just now, I managed to fritz the phone.
Workout resumed.
So I went to check if I was still recording and nothing was moving, so I'm now recording on a different voice app. Let me put this thing away again. I won't take too many pictures if that's going to keep happening. I'm going to keep a steady 12-minute pace, but unfortunately I won't be bailed out by the music. There'll just be me and the Runkeeper girl. If she gets too annoying, I will just turn off some of her features. But I need to know what's going on geographically. I'm putting the phone back in my shirt because it's going to be a lot easier if I'm not fiddling with it. Taking pictures. I think I got 2 really good ones this morning already. Back to the Lambretta story. After the Second World War, the Americans had to pull out of Italy, but they had already ordered, I think it was 1 million rear wheel landing wheels for a bomber that they were using in the conflict. And they were stuck with all these tires. So rather than ship them back, they left them for the Italians to deal with. And, within a few weeks, people were using tires for wheelbarrows and stuff. They just had a glut of small, round, rubbery tires. That is where the idea for the scooter came. They thought, well, we could use these, make a small utilitarian vehicle like a moped with these tires. And that's what they did, and they never looked back until now. I would say that the scooter people are now ruining the day if they invested too heavily in scooters, because the electric vehicle is going to take over. There's not going to be any need to have a gas-driven motor scooter anymore. They'll be getting the same performance without any pollution for much less money with an electric vehicle. But still, we'll see what happens to Lambretta. They probably will come out with an electric bike. Harley Davidson came out with an electric bike. That's amazing. So today's already on Plan C. Plan A is done. I've done my video, my trailer for today's episode. And as I say, I started with the DJ app going. The Spreaker Studio is called. And with that, I can play any tunes from my playlist. But when I took that picture of the gazebo, it just froze on me. So without my laptop, I'm going to have to post all this material willy-nilly as it comes out of the phone. It's very interesting. I thought of the fact that I hadn't brought my charging cable from home, from Alan's place. So I phoned him as I was walking just now. And because we've had a few days... Hello, people. He knew when I said, bring my red cord, which one it was. Hi there. This is the actual cycle path. And there's a guy coming to me on roller skis with poles and everything. Wow. That looks pretty hardcore. And this is quite undulating here. This section would be challenging, but he does get the payoff on the downhill. So the beautiful skyscrapers, as they used to call them when I was a kid, skyscrapers. They probably still do. But I'm sure even Al Howie wouldn't recognize Toronto. I'm reading his book at the moment, and I'm finding it fascinating, not only because it is filling in information that I already knew, but it's verifying our sources as having come from the man himself. Mind you, he has interpreted the data that he recorded. He was recording audio and then listening back, and then creating his story from the audio. And then he has to obviously make it a little more entertaining for the audience by embellishing, as writers do, to make you want to read a 400-page book. There are quite a few pictures in the middle, so it's not all just small print. But that was another thing. The last minute I thought, my reading glasses. I need my reading glasses. Hello. I'm looking sufficiently strange to these people, mainly because of a pirate bandana that I'm wearing that Alan gifted me, and I forgot to shave or trim my facial hair. I'm kind of a little bit underdressed for Toronto. These people are getting ready for a very cold spell coming, for winter to hit. But it's curious that when I told Alan that I spent the first 14 years of our married life in Montreal, that he said, "Oh, the winters, you must have seen real winters then." They think that the winters in Montreal are severe, more severe than here in Toronto. It could be right. I know in Montreal they get a lot more snow. Hi.
Morning.
I don't think it's my appearance that bothers them quite as much today. It's more to do with the fact that I'm not exactly mumbling, but I am talking to myself here. If I was mumbling to myself, I think they might be a little more concerned about me. So that's good news. They probably just assume that I'm talking to somebody on the phone.
Time 11 minutes 19 seconds. Average heart rate 113. Workout average pace 11 minutes 16 seconds per kilometer.
Wow. Now that is okay. That is okay. I thought with all these interruptions in my thought process that I would have lost something. I did lose the audio, the first part, as you know. There will be a part after my trailer video. There'll be part one, which will be about 3 minutes long, I think, with music, and then there'll be this part, which will be about of an undeterminate time frame. I could go nuts and make a long show, but I won't. We have enough long shows to listen to, I'm sure. But I'm going to go and tempt fate once again pretty soon and take another picture, because this is quite spectacular. Yep, good old voice recorder's working fine. That app is called Recorder. The other one was the Studio app that messed me up. Now, with any luck, the Recorder app should still be turning. Yes,
Auto pause.
And she's still there. I don't dare risk
Workout resumed.
losing my companion today, old Samantha. She'd be lost without me. Alright, so now I'm going to take a little turn off these paved cycle paths and adventure into the short grass prairie. I'm not sure if I said that before. But I could call this one either Shortgrass Prairie or the Scotiabank Toronto Marathon show. I have to decide. I might not even get to see the runners. Who knows? I might have completely mistimed my set out like I did at Victoria. But I'm confident that I'm going to see some running action, even if it's just those two guys. My hamstring is bugging me today. But I have been worse. But I don't want to aggravate it. As I say, I'm here to see my friend Alan. And he's walking, so I'm walking. Otherwise, he would be waiting for me to come back, because he probably wouldn't be able to keep up with me if I was running. So I would see 2/3 less of him, and that's not the point. On the return journey, I'm going to have to fly from Pearson International to Calgary International. And then from Calgary, after a 2-hour stopover, I'm flying to Edmonton. So still in the same province from Calgary to Edmonton. That's another hour's flight kind of thing. And then I have another hour stopover in Edmonton. And then I fly from Edmonton to Victoria direct. So that is why Edmonton is appealing. And I will get in, believe it or not, on Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. I'll be arriving in Sydney Airport, Derek's neighborhood. I pulled a hamstring muscle once before, but it was so close to the back of my knee that I thought, well, is it the back of my knee or is it hamstring? So while I waited for the jury's verdict, I think I just backed off a bit, or stopped altogether for a few days. But that's not going to happen. I'm going to do some activity every day. I have the option of riding Alan's spare collapsible bike. He has a folding bike that he said I could use. The tires are pumped up and everything. It's quite a good one. It's probably as good as one of those Bromptons that Steve Chopper likes to ride around. He's full of creative juices, that boy. His stuff is always very entertaining. I'm not even sure what his line of business is, but he's probably pretty good at it. Now I can hear the noise from the city building up. So what I'm going to do today, this is going to be like how I used to press the pause button or the stop button on my Sony. I'm just going to cut this show up into 4 pieces. Alright. That way I'll have a little bit of a break. I'm going to be out for a long time and I want to get closer to the action before I finish this show. So let me do that. It also gives me the option of taking a few pictures. So it's going to be part 1, part 2 and part 3. So back to audio. I'm getting closer to where I'm assuming the turnaround is going to be. And that is where I will be able to get in touch with Alan. He is planning to drive to the turnaround and watch it from there. I can hear public address going on. So I'm going to have to be competing with a female voice on a megaphone, could have been a cop, I guess. No, I see runners on the road. Interesting. I think this is going to work. A bit like Victoria, take 2. Pretty soon there won't be any more car noise. They blocked the road off for runners. Yep, there they go. This is great, but I'm not going to be tempted to run with them, mainly because of my leg. So I'm going to let you get a flavor of this for yourselves. They're going to be providing the entertainment for us all. Oh, this looks like the thick of it. This looks like the front of the mid-pack. This is where I would have been in my 50s.
Time 32 minutes 56 seconds. Average heart rate 115. Workout average pace 10 minutes 58 seconds per kilometer.
There's a stage set up with breakdancers. Yeah, this is worth a video. Hang on, I'm going to switch modes once again. Back to audio. I'm now following the runners. I took that little video for you. When I get home, I swear I will piece this all together for you. And I'll make one fantastic episode. But until then, I will continue to try and entertain you with my view of this run. At least now with basic audio, I can take pictures. It's only that if you film a video, it's going to cut the audio recording. You can't run both at once. Not with this phone. So I'm going to take a picture from here. This is the distance I like to be from a race. And I'm going to go still further. I'm going to go to the lakeshore to get further away from the race. I think I have had my dose today of race. Not seeing Al means that I don't know where I'm heading back to, but I will continue with my plan of walking 55 minutes in this direction and then turning around. I just have to listen out for the lady. I know that of this run, this walk I'm in, I've skipped about probably 8 minutes of real time. I have so many little clippets now. Clippets and snippets. I'll just number them. Make it simple for the listener. And the short ones, I will post. All of them I will post on Your 5 Minutes. This is going to be their show. Our show. The show that I guess I was always envisioning from the beginning, from the extra mile. I guess that's the business model. That is the plan to get submissions, short submissions, and make a short weekly show. But if you're waiting for the 2-hour mark to fill an episode, I guess you have to wait a month and a half, 6 weeks, that sort of this thing. I always send my episodes in, my submissions, I should say. I'm probably going to record one for Kevin tomorrow for the Extra Mile. I have dropped myself out of the loop. Not sure why. Maybe because I was getting too tied up with things that really I shouldn't be getting tied up with. I've met some wonderful people through that website, through the Extra Mile podcast. We have had association for many, many years. Kevin's always very polite and quick to thank the submissioners, the submittees, if that is such a word. Man, this is quite spectacular. I thought that Victoria was big in terms of the sea of humanity. This is more like an ocean of humanity. I'm seeing more people today in this 40 minutes than I would see in a year in Victoria. Not just runners, but people in general. It's quite noticeable how many convenience stores there are in certain neighborhoods. There must be rows and rows of housing. Lots of people live here. And there are some pretty big operations. There's at least 3 car manufacturing companies in the neighborhood of Mississauga and Toronto, and within a 100-mile radius, close enough to make it worth driving to work. But there is a lot of driving going on here. Alan loves driving, which is good for him, but I couldn't handle the concentration needed to drive safely. It's just not in my wheelhouse at the moment. It's no good saying, wake up, smarten up. Can't do it. This is what it is. It is what it is. I am where I am. Another little sub-cheering section. You know, I might even bump into Alan here. He's a bit like me, but he knows more of these people. He probably would know at least 30 or 40 people. Maybe not by name, but by seeing them at races. This is the 13-kilometer mark of one race. It would have to be, what is it now, 21.2 is the half marathon. So 13 in, yeah, it can't be the 5K, can it? So 13 in from the start. They probably started the half and the full at the same time in corrals. I would imagine they had separate corrals for the 2 races. Because theoretically, even though you plan to run at a certain pace, I don't know
Time
if
for
you want
hydration.
to be in with the wrong corral. There would be too much interchange of action, too much difference between the fast and the slow movers. That's when accidents happen, when people slow down or stop in front of you. I'm going to go through this little section here, which is going to be slightly further away from, there is street noise even today, from the noise of the race as well, because I wanted to see what was going on here and try and find out. And then I will take a picture and check my time. Do you know what's going on here?
We're filming.
Wow! What are you filming?
Just a TV show.
Good, good. And is the beach critical to this shot?
Correct.
And the harbour?
This is all set.
Is this supposed to be Morocco?
I'm not too sure. I wasn't told the details.
Auto paused.
We can go through though, eh?
Yes, you can. Go
Great,
ahead.
thank you.
I don't think they're coming.
Wow, when does this start?
I think it starts tomorrow. The marathon's in the way. They wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I came down to watch the marathon runners, but you know how they say a sea of humanity? This is an ocean of humanity. Way too many people. This is quieter, this side. Ciao.
Workout resumed.
Oh, that's a nice guy. I think he's just security. He would make sure that nobody climbed on the boxes. But I'll take a photograph. Yeah, I'll take a photograph. I'm sure they don't mind if I take a photograph. It's not top secret. But you see what I mean. They're filming.
Auto paused.
They're filming a show here, a TV show, and they don't know too much about it, which is fine. I just wanted to
Workout
know whether
resumed.
it was a, son et lumière, or was it a staged act? Yep, it's a staged act. I can tell that for sure now. It's not just me imagining it. It's real. And the marathon has prevented them from working today. Excellent. So now I'm listening out for the 55-minute real-time run for my turnaround. As I say, I've lost count of how many files I have recorded, but I will easily know it when I get online. I can just go through the list and hopefully save them to a solid platform. For sure I've got pictures, for sure I've got video. That's not going to fail me. And I'm going to have audio from video and from the voice recording device on said phone. I don't have the luxury of two microphones. One microphone and speaker can only work at the same time. That's why you can't use the Spreaker app and the video setting on the phone. That might have been what happened. It might have momentarily hicked, thinking it wanted me to take a video when I switched to camera mode. So this looks like an outdoor swimming pool. Yep. Caution, avoid deep dives. Especially today when there's no water in the pool. Yeah. Apparently there's a lot of Polish people in this neighborhood. Polish were one of the first people to settle in Etobicoke. Yep, there they go, all the runners puffing and panting. This might be where Alan is.
Time 43 minutes 36 seconds. Average heart rate 114. Workout average pace 10 minutes 53 seconds per
I
kilometer.
wish I knew where he was. I guess I could phone him. And he could tell me. I could tell him that I'm near the dinosaur park. This dog is stalking a squirrel. That dog's a hunter, eh?
Yeah, she's got it in her instinct. She's from the Bahamas.
Oh, okay. So she likes chasing squirrels.
Yeah. Pretty sure she's got like some kind of terrier in her
Yeah.
along the way, like a rat dog of some sort.
Well, we just saved the squirrel's life there, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, because they were just like this, and
Never got one though. She's
Yeah.
not that fast.
maybe she wouldn't know the last bit. She hasn't learned how to kill.
No.
Anyway, there's a stick for her.
Took a stick.
Stick.
Here. Hey. Oh, you go.
Somebody else's stick, maybe. Anyway, see ya. Yeah, we saw a confrontation between a squirrel and a rat dog. Hello, rat dog. Luca. All right. So this is all gold, I think. I hope. I've had like 5 failed attempts to make recordings this week. I'm sure I can salvage an edited show of highlights. A highlight reel, how about that? The Toronto highlight reel. Yep, then I can pull all the audio together. But it's just as well I didn't lug the laptop here, because it would be totally hopeless. I couldn't do anything with it, because without the internet, all I could do, I guess I could have done my edit. But no, I would have wanted to post it, and then I couldn't really upload it without the internet. I could do all the edit without the internet. Yeah, next time I'll think about that option. Even if I don't have internet, I can still edit the video and the audio and upload when I get home. But I really think that we're spoiled by the high-speed internet that we've got so used to. I'm going to stop pretty soon this recording. I've lost track completely of how long I have spoken to you. But I have an instinct for this, and I think I've probably got 40 minutes of material now. So once I join this all together, it will be about the length of a full show. So I think, without further ado, I will sit here on this bench, and no, I'm going to sit over here a little further away from the main thoroughfare, and phone Al to see what's going on, where he is. So this is the Running Jackal from the Scotiabank Marathon event, saying bye-bye to all my patient listeners. Bye-bye.